And then Cody's going to pull in front of you there, Brent, and he'll swing by, get a name list, get your radio channel set, all of that good stuff.
It's all good still?
Yep, everything's still the same.
Perfect. What I'll do is I'll just bring up your lap timer here for you.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
Thanks.
Your recording's good? Cool.
Good.
So at this point in the game here, guys, we should have a pretty good understanding of the proper line, knowing where we need to be placing the car at all times. You know, whether or not we're doing it every single lap, we don't have a ton of laps. So, I mean, with that, we're always learning. We're always getting more familiar and comfortable with it, but making the effort to do so. Ultimately, if you don't like where the car is pointed at the apex, that's not an indicator to go right back to full throttle. You gotta sort of eat that mistake. Think about what led you there, then start making the active adjustment. Just put yourself ahead of the car. If you start finding yourself looking right at the nose of it and everything feels like it's flying at you, take a corner to recoup yourself. Pick out those proper visuals once again. Get yourself back on the right line. Ultimately, if you put your focus towards running the proper line and keeping the car balanced, everything else falls into place. But when we start focusing purely on speed, guess what? Mistakes begin to happen. You know, we shouldn't be throwing a Hail Mary out there just to see if it works. You shouldn't change your braking zones by 100 foot and seeing if it sticks. It's little adjustments. Get the car slowed. Maintain the rolling speed. Put yourself in a position so it feels good to go back to the throttle. You don't want to feel like the car is just skating underneath you. So we'll start off with the warm-up lap and then we'll build it up next time around. So as we look towards the water tower setting up for the drop, just putting ourselves in a line so we can straighten the steering going in. That'll give us the confidence to stay on the gas through that elevation change. Looking up and over the top of the crest and turn 4, look down that straightaway. Make sure you know that the car's not going to run out of room out to the left side. That'll tell you when you can go back to full throttle. Straight line approach going into the braking zone. Get a downshift done ahead of time. Let it help you slow the car down. Then you can just maintain the speed through turn 5, minimizing steering work, not having to saw on the wheel to get to that apex, but looking for it and planning ahead for it. Now, going into turn 6, you remember there's no straight line zones. You got to compensate with that by braking early. Look out the driver's side. The windshield doesn't matter for about the first 2/3 of that corner. Try to see turn 8 as early as possible. That'll help you visualize the smooth line so you can just really carry momentum through here, not have to fight the car and throw it one corner to the next. Brake into turn 9 a little sooner than you think you need to. If you go in aggressive, it's going to fight you on the exit. Staying out left, looking to the right. Balance in. And steadying in. That way you can lay right back to full throttle without having to overthink it. Slow the approach into 1. Remember, run a tight line here. Try to get down to that inside lane pretty early and then hold it there. Maintain a little tighter, a little sooner there, Rodney. Then we can squeeze the power on exit. Looking right, smooth hands, working in tight to the apex. Now towards the exit, looking into the drop. Up to 4th gear before you enter. Commit to throttle, bring it out wide left. Brush the brake going in. Look to the top of the rise. Think about that straightaway, trying to roll to the power efficiently. Alright, let's get that momentum building. Up to 5th. Firm on the brakes to number 3. Get the thing slowed. 4th gear. Notice my brake lights. I'm balancing right about till I get to the elevation drop into turn 5. All the while, I'm keeping my eye on my apex, making sure I'm going to get it. Then out to the exit. On the power. Balance in. Run a good line through 6. If you feel like you're having to go out past the middle of the track, it's usually indicating that you're braking too late into turn 6. Running a slightly tighter line just ensures that you get the apex and that you're able to commit to the throttle and exit. Now thinking about turn 9, because it's a tight corner, the initial steering input needs to be fairly quick. Keep your eye on the apex, make sure you're going to get it, then shift your focus towards the exit. Look to the right. Remember, this is a big sweeping corner, so very light braking. Just set the nose down, help the car initially turn in. Go right back to the power. Up to 5th gear, bringing it back towards the number 1. Straighten out the zone, looking into the left here with me, Rodney. Get it a little tighter. Right down to the inside lane, hold it within a few foot of the first edge of the asphalt there. Now throttle. All right, good first lap. Looking right. Up for the turn-in point. Notice I'm out to the left just a little bit before that point, then I can turn in, light braking, get tight to the curb. Alright, now right back to the power here, Rodney. Full throttle up to 5th gear. Braking, get your downshift done. Okay, continue looking right. See the exit. Straighten out your zone, looking left. Try to see turn 7, try to see turn 8. Put yourself ahead of the car. There you go. Smooth hands into the right. Isolate the corner, light brush the brakes. You can tighten up turn 7 slightly. You were close, but still had about 2 foot that we can use. Patience into 8, looking to the right side. Back to the right. Brush the brake going in. Use all the curving at 10. Take advantage of it. Good. Now lay to the power. Up to 5th gear. Bring it back. And trail it in with me. Looking right. Quick steering. Good on your apex. Stay committed, carry the speed out to the exit. Bring it out right. It's all about maintaining the momentum. straight and looking left. Alright, good job. Keep looking right. Right back into the throttle. Smooth steering, bringing it back. Get to the throttle a little quicker out of turn 1. Feel free to use a bit more track because you do have plenty of distance to get back over to the left instead of for 2. Now you turned in a little early into 2 or you got off the brakes slightly early. Regardless, that was the first time I had seen that you ran wide coming off. All that does is delays your throttle. Alright, so Rodney, I'm going to have you over to the right side for me. I'm going to get Andy behind me, followed by Jonathan. And Rodney behind the light blue, or the regular blue 44. Alright, so Andy, make sure we're in 4th gear, look for your exit, we'll squeeze the power. Anticipate your braking zone, smooth on the pressure, brake just a little bit sooner, just so we don't have to drop the nose quite as aggressively at the beginning. Now looking into the right, brush the brake on in. Now looking for the exit. If you let the car unwind a little bit, that's fine. We still want it to be excessive, or otherwise we're going to have to throw it into turn 9. And focus on putting the power down efficiently. Balance in. Cut through the apex. Steady in. Up to 5th gear. Bring it back. Plan ahead for the braking. Trail it in. Get it down tight. That way you can maintain the mid-corner speed and then let the throttle get you out towards your exit. Looking right, head across the curb, back to power, looking into the drop now with me. Arc it out wide, light brush, keep looking right. Braking firm, carry the pressure. Through here, keeping it smooth and efficient, minimal fight, just keep it back to the right, little brake, isolate, look through waves, thinking about 9. Right, got a good rhythm going now, so let's think about 10. The high speed corners are always tricky, so just use the brake, make sure you like where the car's aimed. From here, let's start bringing it back to the right side. Straighten out your braking zone, looking into the left. So you're just a little progressive on the brake. I think if we broke about 10% harder at the beginning, the car is going to feel more composed mid-corner so you can get a better exit. If you notice, you're making the climb into the corner and then you're losing it on the exit. And right there, we just broke too late for turn 2. Alright, good in the drop, balance in, carry the speed up and over, keep it tight to the curb. The exit all the way out. Firm braking. Get it slow, looking right. Looking low at that exit. Alright, good run. Keep it going. Firm. Look left. Keep it under middle. If you're using 3rd gears, make sure you get the car pointed appropriately. Just so you don't back to the 7. Looking left. So braking around the number 2 board on approach into turn 1 is fine. Make sure you get the pressure set so the car doesn't feel nervous as you try to trail it in. Right there, that little wiggle you felt because we were progressive. You made it work. Now let's work on turn 2 here. Brake before the number 1. Get the car slowed a little bit more. That way you can be efficient getting the car to turn in. Then lead to the power quick. Much better. there and you felt how you fought the car. Good consistent lap though, it's very close on time. Let's do it again. Now I know there's a bit of separation there, John. Don't try to play catch up necessarily, just run your line, hit your mark. We're going to gather up next time on the straightaway. Same thing as well there, Rodney. Looking left, visualize, look all the way through the S's, you're with me. Balance in, good line through 7, tighten the 8, throttle, climb in here, braking into third, left and right. Bringing it back, anticipate the braking zone. A little late, taper it in, you got it. Drive it out on power. Bringing her back. Stop where you're at there, Jonathan. So Richie's heading over to get you dug out of there. Can't tell exactly what happened. Probably missed the braking zone. But regardless, just continue around there. Rodney, we'll get you back with the group on the back straight. So Rodney, we're just going through the S's right now, so you'll get caught up to us and we'll be bringing it into the pits this time around. So we're going to head back out there. We'll just hang tight here, so just try to arc it in sort of wide. Then I'll just work with each of you guys for another lap or two.
Pretty good. Pretty good? Yep.
Cool. Yeah, so we'll head back out there in just a minute, alright?
Alrighty.
So we're going to let this other group head out first, just they need to get caught up on a lap because they were kind of in the middle of a rotation when, or not rotation, but a middle of a guy's run when that happened and everyone had to exit. So with that being said, we will give them a little bit of space. I'll work with each of you guys individually. We'll do another lap or two per driver. You know, not, like I mentioned, not worrying about speed, just put your focus towards hitting your marks, being smooth, just trying to ultimately just minimize mistakes. Alright, so that should be good. So, Andy, follow me out. I'll do another lap with you, and then Jonathan, I'm sorry, looking at my old name list. Rodney, I'll get you back with me after that. So just keep it over to the right, or to the left, excuse me. Third gear's fine for right now. We'll start picking up the speed coming out of turn number 2. Get back to the left, anticipate the braking zone, looking into the right. Getting up to 4th gear prior to the drop, straightening up the wheels so the car stays settled. Out wide left, little brush just to help the car turn in. Look through the top of the crest, stabilize the throttle, then reapply. All the way to number 3, firm on the brakes. Get that braking zone settled, now looking in right. Keep it in tight to the right. Plan ahead, try to spot the exit early so you can anticipate if your line is good or not. Remember, if you're going down to 3rd gear into the S's, make sure that you're apexing turn 6 late enough. Try to stay on the curb just a little bit after the cone. That's going to help you arc it in so you can be efficient into 7. Brush the brake into 8, looking left. Now let's get a game plan for turn 9. Braking, get it back left. Don't compromise the hairpin. Wait for it, get the car rotated, now power coming in. Balance in, use up all the apex curving. Look for your exit, now roll back to the power grandy. Good. Up to 5th gear. Braking firm, that's what we talked about, just making sure we're not being too progressive where we have the car out of shape on the entry. Maintain, look for the exit, roll to the power. Balance, looking right. Get a good run to the drop. Up to 4th, so you don't get understeer. Straighten, out wide, brake a little bit before the cone, maintain the speed in, now stabilize the throttle. Alright, then I'm going to have you to the right side. Just wanted you to stay on the gas, so come to a stop right there. Just wanted you to get your lap time on that one there, Andy. Alright, so Rodney, just past that bronze car, you're going to catch me into turn 5. Sorry, I knew if I would have told you that we were rotating there, Andy, you probably would have got out of the gas out of turn 4 and compromised the lap. I think you might have got a 20 on that one. Alright, so we'll get back to it here, Rodney. So balancing in, getting your shift points back figured out, looking through the S's, anticipate one apex to the next. Looking left. Turn 9 is a pretty important corner because it leads onto a high-speed section, so trying to prioritize that. It's easy to start getting clouded with judgment and try to carry too much speed through 8, so before you know it, turn 9 is compromised. Balance in, look across the apex, try to anticipate your exit. Smooth on the powers and bring it back to the number 1 board. Looking left. Balance to the center, keep it tight. Now squeeze the power on exit. Alright, good. Keep it going here, Rodney. Bring it back left. Arc it in, looking ahead for the water tower. Good line to the drop, get it out wide. Balance early so you're not fighting the car and it efficiently for turn 8, or turn 4, excuse me. Shift gears, looking ahead for your braking now. Balance and maintain. Continue looking into the right now. Squeeze power, smooth on one. Scan left. Back into the inside. Carry the speed into 10. Barely turning the brake lights on until you know you got your apex. And roll back to the throttle once you know you're not going to run wide. Squeeze the power, smooth unwind as we bring it back to the left. A little early there, so look for your exit, readjust your line. Alright, so we'll slow our pace here, Rodney, and then we're going to start a cool down lap. Good job there, guys. So hopefully you guys felt like you made some gains on that last session, learned a few things, just gained familiarity and comfortability with the vehicle. You can go really quick with these cars, you just got to drive them properly. As Richie explained yesterday, it all comes down to the corner approach and the corner entries. If you do your work going into the corner, getting the car slowed, using the brakes properly, the reward is that you can really get out of the corner really, really well, getting on the throttle early, carrying the speed. However, if you start overdriving it and start braking a little bit too late, it's easy to start crossing that line where the car is just a little nervous, the car is unsettled, and then you're fighting it, or running out of room. So with that being said, let's hit stop recording. And then once we park the